everybody! Welcome back to SourceFedNERD. Happy Monday, all, and thanks for joining us for another episode of Nerd News Breakdown! This is the show where we take the biggest stories from the weekend and we break them down. Today on the NNB panel, we have Miss Whitney Moore Esquire over here, little applause. And over here, we have Mr. Dr. Philip Molina. Excuse me.
Mr. Doctor.
Today, I want to talk about the Nintendo Switch, which was released or announced last week, and possible new features based on patents that were released over the weekend.
Ooh, and I want to talk about Deadpool 2 losing its director, Tim Miller, over creative differences with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I'm gonna tattoo a tear right here. I think that's what that means.
That was that, yeah.
I'm sad. But first, I want to talk about the craziest night on TV in recent memory. Maybe since Red Wedding, maybe?
Yeah.
The premiere of Walking Dead Season 7. Ugh.
There's a whistle.
Are you guys that's not a whistle. That's not what that is. All the spoilers are about to happen. If you are about to watch Walking Dead, either skip ahead to the other stories or go watch that and come back. But without hesitating anymore, last night, after 202 days of waiting for the answer to the biggest TV cliffhanger in years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's over half a year. We finally found out who got Lucille'd by Negan. And that's Lucille means is a batted because it's the name of the bat, it's Lucille. But we waited more than half a year, and if you're a fan of the show, last night was actually a really sad episode of TV. There was a bit of a twist of how it all unfolded. So we were left sitting at the end of last season with Negan having just smashed in someone's brains, but we were watching from that person's perspective. So we were just seeing like blood pour. It was almost like the camera got its brain smashed in.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was cool, except then they cut away for 6 months. So the question has been for all these months, who was it? Who was taking it like a champ? And there were endless fan theories and analyses, and I made a bunch of videos myself making guesses.
You did? How many videos do you think you made?
3, I think.
Nice.
And so the payoff was that a lot of us were right in our guess. It was Abraham. Let's show Abraham.
Redhead, man.
Redhead. And there was a little hint last season near the end. They said something about, hey, don't forget to get an orange crush. And if you look at Abraham's head,
disgusting.
that's a real mean way to
That's
describe that
disgusting.
person's death. Except, here's where the twist came in.
Get ready.
Everyone's in mourning, and then Daryl, everybody's favorite, jumps up and punches Negan, and in response, Negan just turns and kills Glenn.
That doesn't seem fair.
Even though Daryl's the one that hit him.
That's not
Side
fair.
note, there was a pretty great explanation of why Negan says he's gonna kill him. In last season's finale, he made this real quick comment, hey, I'm about to kill your friend, nobody do anything, you can cry, but if anyone does anything, I'm gonna shut that shit down. He quoted that this season premiere, and he's just like, so he gets hit by Daryl, he's like, was I not clear? I said if you guys did anything, I was gonna shut that shit down. I'm not a little TV villain. I'm a real bad guy, so Glenn's dead.
I'm a real bad guy. I wish he said that.
Yeah, I'm a real bad guy.
That's not fair. I know Daryl is the reason a lot of people watch this show still,
Right.
but come on.
You're like, Daryl should have died.
No, we were talking about this earlier. It's like Glenn, he was like, if you guys are watching, again, spoilers are on the table now, we can talk about it. He was the one they thought was dead. He was like the secret, like, dead person from last season, and that was the big mystery for that entire season. And now you're like, nah, we got him back, we're good to go. It's like, nope.
So
No.
Glenn, I pointed this out in an old analysis thing I did where I explained he followed Jesus' storyline last season, and he goes and he dies, but he actually pulls himself out of the cave, theoretically or whatever, symbolically, and he is resurrected. And then he kind of like lived a little bit, did a little bit more, and now he's died for our sins again, and he's gone. And so they kind of like telegraphed that a little bit, but people are really pissed that they even teased us last year with that. Abraham, they wrapped up his story real nicely last season. So even last season, I was like, that guy's dead. They made him happy. He's got a girlfriend, and they're good, doing well.
People aren't allowed to be happy on TV shows.
No. Walking Dead especially.
yeah.
That's why I stopped reading the comic too.
It's
Is
so
it's
sad.
sadness porn.
Yeah.
The only time something good happens is so something
I'll
terrible
still say,
can happen.
so I think you
after.
stopped reading before Negan, right?
Yeah, I did.
And that's the best part of the comic, too.
Really?
It's stuff. Yeah, so
That's
I
why
think if
everyone's
you-
so excited about this season.
Right, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan is doing a great job. So anyway, it was 2 kills. That's the big news. That's what everyone was waiting for 6 months to find out. And I don't know if you guys knew this or remember, people hated that last season ended with a cliffhanger. It was like, considered one of the biggest mistakes in like TV history. But I'm sure ratings going to show that it probably pulled off, they pulled off a
success.
success.
Yeah.
So they've been planning it for 2 years, it turns out, killing these 2 characters. They just revealed that today. These 2 deaths. I have a feeling that a lot of people are still going to say, hey, it wasn't worth it.
And when
I wish you hadn't done a cliffhanger.
Because I saw how the clip was set up last season. I was thinking it'd be kind of fun if you did get a death at the end, so you're like, holy shit! So you're getting the whole full scope of how crazy Negan is, and then you have something happen where it teases another death, and that's where you end it, and you're like, wait, you already killed somebody. Who the fuck
and
are you
you're
gonna
also
kill
gonna
now?
kill someone else. Yeah. That would have been sad. I mean, in retrospect, they probably would have done something like that, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And people still hate it. I think they kind of pulled it off. Personally, I'm an apologist for some of these things, though. But they killed off multiple characters. Most people weren't expecting that until recently.
Series regulars, right?
So Glenn was on that show since season 1, episode 2.
Damn.
And this is season 7's premiere now. But a lot of people, I think, are going to think it was worth it. So this is bringing me to my question. If you didn't watch Walking Dead, I'll have a slightly different version of it. But if you did, was it worth it? Was it worth that big cliffhanger and that big drama now that you've seen this episode that was only about these deaths? If you haven't seen it, and this is my question for you guys, is do you think cliffhangers are good for storytelling?
Yes, but I've never really seen a TV show pull it off to at least over 50% of the audience's liking. For example, Flash season 1 ended with this awesome scene where he's running into a singularity, like a black hole, to stop it, and you're that's an awesome cliffhanger of him running in there to stop it. You don't know if he's gonna do it, and then when they pick up the next season, everything's fine, and you're like, wait, what the fuck happened? And then they go back and tell it, and you're like, oh, you just used it as a way of getting rid of one of your characters. I was like,
I think cliffhangers are more of a marketing tool than a story tool.
Yeah.
It's all about getting people to come back. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, you're totally right. Even in a book or something that ends where it's that's it. You go if you can see if you can buy the book immediately right now.
Yeah.
Or that definitely though works though at the same time
oh yeah, super
I
effective.
go season to season.
I don't hate it. It works on me. I just don't think that it's a method of storytelling as much as it's just marketing.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So what you really notice how awkward it can be when you're binging stuff. And it's man, they really built up this thing that and it's normally, it was 8 months later, it's an hour later, you're okay, that was all settled.
Yeah, and maybe
not nearly a big deal.
Maybe it will be better if a cliffhanger worked out. If I was binging it, maybe they'd mean more, but I think there's just too much hype that gets built around cliffhangers. I'm a big fan of Fringe. And we were talking about this. They set up at the end of season 3, one of their characters is deleted from the timeline, and you're like, what the fuck does this mean? Does everyone's characters' backgrounds have to change? But in the end, they built it up so much, and when you watch it, you just find out that they deleted all the character development they had for over 3 years, and they took out one of the main cast members, and then they brought him back, and they were trying to fix it, and it just kind of ruined the show a little bit.
Yeah.
The ratings took a huge nosedive into the dumpster, and then they were only given 13 episodes the next season to finish the show entirely.
Oof.
They were gonna cancel it after that
tough.
because they fucked up so bad.
Even though people love that show.
Yeah.
By the way, just to answer my own question, I'm down with cliffhangers because I love having my feelings manipulated. Yeah. I love, it feels more immersive storytelling. Even though I'm aware that it's entertainment, it makes me more aware that it's entertainment. You kind of step outside of it for a sec. At the same time, it's this show is giving me physical emotions. We're all obsessed with Black Mirror right now.
Yeah, oh god.
And
it wrecks you.
How much it's destroying you, and you're kind of I wish the episode would end already.
Guys, you have to be checking out the new season of Black Mirror.
I need 6 more episodes at least. 6
only
and it's
6
unfair because
episodes.
you get addicted to that drama and feeling crushed all the time, and you're I only get 6 hours of this? Yeah. Why not my whole life?
Is it a good thing that we get our emotions from television and not our relationships?
There's a question for the comments.
Sure.
But just for final thoughts, how did you feel about The Walking Dead? Were you satisfied with 6 months of...
I was. I think it was a crappy story of the episode. It was almost it wasn't an episode. It was an
answer.
By the way, this also, here's some flashback. And it's just this is what happened. So there's no narrative structure to the hour that you're watching. That said, I thought it totally was it was one of the most intense things I've seen on television.
I heard it was very fucking
It was very
violent.
gory too. But it was actually really true to the comics. We got a picture of the comic here. They really did a lot of matching the panels up, which is always very cool. But they matched up one where, well, I guess we already said spoilers, right? So Glenn in the comics, he gets, the bat to his head, and his eye instantly bulges out of the socket, and it kind of is like this disgusting image. You're like, well, that's in the comic, and they did it. His eye is bulging out, and they talk about it. Negan's like, ew, I made your eye pop out.
Jesus.
Oh.
Ew, what
Negan
piece of
is such a
shit.
character, and it's so terrible. And they added something that wasn't in the comics that was super intense about. They made so Rick is the main character and Carl is his son. They put Carl's arm down. They draw a line. They give Rick a hatchet, and they're like, chop off his arm or everyone here dies.
Whoa!
That is definitely not in the comics. That is, I know that.
And you were just like, and Rick is doing that like crying, snot crying, where like snot came all the way up, and then he sucked it back in.
There you go. That's real acting, guys.
And then watch him on Love Actually and see the exact opposite.
Oh my god, I love him.
Damn. Let us know in the comments down below. Do you think cliffhangers are worth it? Specifically, The Walking Dead Season 7 premiere cliffhanger. But from that, let's move to story 2.
Okay, that's me. So over the weekend, it was announced that Tim Miller is no longer attached to direct Deadpool 2.
Sad.
As we here at SourceFedNERD like to say, he's out the window.
Oh, he's out
Out
of
of
here.
the
Classic
Get out
phrase.
the
Out the window.
Out the window. He cited creative differences between him and Ryan Reynolds. So I didn't know this before, but
Sorry, it's a classic catchphrase. Oh, it's out the window. Get it out of here.
This.
Yeah.
We say it all the
Now.
time. Okay, so Tim Miller, I guess I didn't know this, but he hadn't really directed anything before Deadpool. He was more of a VFX guy. So, anyways, I guess what happened was Miller wanted a more stylized sequel, which makes sense if you're a VFX guy, but also like, what does that even mean?
I wonder,
Deadpool?
do they mean like genre stylized? Like it's gonna be a noir, or like he worked on Scott Pilgrim, which is very stylized.
But just
I
the
wonder if he went in
VFX,
that
like-
direction.
Just the VFX.
Now, see, that would be cool, like stylized look. But like you're saying, like it's Deadpool.
And we will go.
Yeah.
We'll circle back to that actually. That makes sense if he's a VFX guy, but I don't know what that means. And then of course Ryan Reynolds was like, no, it's a dark comedy. It's got raunchy humor. 20th Century Fox sided with Reynolds, and so.
God, could you imagine if they recast Reynolds instead?
No, they could never do that.
Man.
With Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they sided with him, and then he left the project, although it was noted in most of the articles I read that it was amicable, so hopefully that's good. And also, fun little thing, they apparently, Reynolds and Miller had a little disagreement about who should play Cable. Miller wanted to cast Bloodline and Friday Night Lights actor Kyle Chandler.
Wait,
Chandler?
Chandler.
Kyle
Chandelier.
Chandelier.
By the way, I have to point out this guy, whenever I think of plain white man from the 50s, this guy always comes to mind. I'm like,
He's got
'cause
such a look.
He was the cop in Super 8 as well, and I was like,
Yeah.
yep, you're from this era,
Yeah.
100%. Like, there's like, I can't. If there were like a cookie cutter of a type of person, like you're it. Like,
Yeah.
It's just because his hair is brushed
yeah,
to
but
one side.
his face is so plain. He almost looks like a cop, like action figure that came to
Right.
life. Yeah.
He does look like he could be in Dragnet. Remember that? You
one's that
guys
one?
are. Never mind.
Sorry,
I'm
baby.
from-
I'm a baby.
This is a show from the 50s. Yeah, Kyle Chandler though is a fantastic actor. So he
Yeah.
could potentially have
I'm
pulled
sure he'd be
off,
good.
yeah.
He's a great actor. Personally, I still really want to see Ron Perlman.
Perlman.
Make it happen, guys. He'd knock it out of the park.
I still like Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang would be
in
great.
tall boots.
And so my question
Short
for you
boy.
guys is, who do you think should then take on to direct Deadpool 2? I would love to see Edgar Wright. I know that we talked about
be
this before with Ant-Man.
solid.
Like, there's maybe some bad blood there, and I don't know how likely that would happen, but I think that he would be great. Also, what's the other name that I wrote down?
Matthew Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he'd be so great.
No,
Like,
he's got a great relationship with Fox right now, especially their comic book department with Kingsman and First Class.
And he's got
Yeah.
a great relationship with everyone. He's a very good director.
Yeah.
Matthew Vaughn?
Yeah.
God, Kingsman. Like, I don't know how Kingsman didn't get 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know why
That
I was just
movie-
people don't
thinking
like
it's
that.
like a 73.
blast.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's such a fun
It's
movie.
so good.
Did you see Layer Cake?
No,
We can talk about it separately.
Is that a different?
Yeah.
Did he direct that as well?
If I remember correctly, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not 100%.
I'm
so.
trying to remember because I remember that was around the time where he was going to direct the third X-Men movie. And then
Oh.
they ended up Brett Ratner in it.
Yeah, man, he's so good with action. He's so good with comedy.
bed,
it would just like Lego piece right in there, just click in. I feel like he'd be so
But
good.
he's
Yeah.
doing Kingsman 2
So
right
that's
Yeah.
now.
whose pick is
Yeah.
Matthew Vaughn?
Mine.
She's got both Edgar
got
Wright.
two.
And
I got
Edgar
two.
Wright, what else would be good? I'm gonna give you Ruben Fleischer.
Who did?
That's the guy who did Zombieland.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like that to me is almost in the same universe, like that energy.
If there was like fun talk for a while, God, Gambit is a fucking trash heap at Fox right now. But I think Doug Liman, however you want to say it, would be a very interesting choice to direct this. I think Edgar Wright would be as well, but I just don't see him picking up a big project like that anymore. For some reason, in my head, I'm like, no, he's been burned too many times, and he's got a good enough like cult following that he'll do all right doing his own projects. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna go out of left field. Wes Anderson.
Wow! I'd watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Did you guys ever
That's
see
not stylized
somebody
at
did
all.
like a sketch about Wes Anderson's Spider-Man?
Yes,
so
yes,
funny.
yeah,
it's
it's
great.
very. They did also
Horror, a Wes Anderson horror movie.
Werner Herzog's Ant-Man or Werner Herzog. You should watch that. It's
that's
very fun.
awesome.
Like he gets stuck as like an ant size, and he walks around Central Park. It's garbage. Anyways, sorry. But you guys should let us know in the comments down below who you think should be picking up the mantle of director for Deadpool 2
Pick up that
because
mantle.
I think that. Also, when we like think about behind the scenes stuff and what we've heard and piecing it together, Ryan Reynolds is the person who was the driving force of this movie being made in the first place. He's the one who paid out of pocket to get the writers for it, which some could say, like directing wise, this movie wasn't like I'm not gonna remember it for how it was directed when it comes to what performances you got out of people. I think it's the writing and how Ryan Reynolds executed.
I
that.
read
I wonder
this.
if Ryan Reynolds could direct it.
Maybe it'd be an interesting thing to try.
I think he'll, like,
the script
blow his
for
brains out from stress, but
the script for Deadpool was leaked years before the movie came out, and
James Cameron got behind it, and a bunch of other people got behind it. Yeah.
But when I read it, I remember having the thought: this script is already directed. If you read the stage directions, it's in the exposition. It's like telling you like it's all that stuff on the highway where it's like freeze frames and stuff. That's all in the scripts. Like it says we freeze frame. We realize that he's been shot through the ass. Like whatever. Like like all there's a lot of camera direction in there. So they really did. I mean that's like some directors hate that or whatever. But we don't know. Unfortunately, because he's only directed this movie, we don't know if Miller was the reason it was so good. I think it was. I think you're right. I think it was the script.
I think it was the script, and also there were talks like Tim Miller wanted to do a Goon adaptation for film, and I think this kind of like when you hear this, when people leave projects like this, like it sure can be amicable, but I think it kind of shoots your chances at doing future projects.
Oh yeah,
with the studio,
he's out the window.
Oh man, he's right
out
out the
Easily.
hashtag out
Hey, the
window.
wall, the window, open.
Where is he? He's out of it.
But
out
I
of
don't
it.
want to think about that because that's literally I've been waiting on a Goon movie for years, and
Oh,
when they
don't worry, we're
showed
gonna get it.
that trailer at Comic-Con years ago, I was so happy they nailed it. Please make it happen, somebody.
Please.
Please.
But that's our question for you for story 2. Last story of the day, I want to talk about the Nintendo Switch. Actually, we made a really fun video about it. It was really fun. I was thinking about switching clothes here, but that's way too much
I was gonna
work.
say I was actually thinking about how I would like to wear that outfit.
You want to wear this?
It's a good outfit.
Yeah, I'll let you can wear this. All right, but anyways, while we switch, I'll go ahead and start talking about it. Nintendo unveiled last week, like you guys know, their next gen console, the Switch, and it's getting mixed reviews from our office and online, specifically like diehard
From our
fans.
office.
Yeah.
Mixed reviews from our office.
Oh, people are tuning in.
Yeah, the janitor's like, I don't like it.
Oh, he's got problems with it.
Yeah.
But diehard fans, I'd say Whitney, you're a pretty diehard
Thank you.
Nintendo fan.
Sure am.
They're pretty excited for like the portability of the console and the multifunction controllers, which are pretty cool. But some of us are concerned about like battery life and like is it touchscreen and like does this even make sense?
It's so shady that they haven't included any of that. Like we're
Information.
just
So
not
we
going
found
to
out
talk about it.
today that they're not going to say anything until like closer to launch
2017.
time.
Yeah.
So it might be like when Apple does that, it's because they're trying to make it real good, and then they know that it's not going to work out. So like they try to get over a day of battery life on the Apple Watch, for instance. So they just didn't say anything about it, and it's like fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And then now it's like 28 minutes.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
See, that's a bummer. But I mean, it is impressive to see all the options that these controllers have. Like, you can pop them in and use them. You can attach them to each other and use them as a controller. Or you can play them individually for multiplayer
Yeah.
since they're both, like...
That was very
That doesn't
cool.
really
Yeah.
exist. Like I
Yeah.
think we were talking about it in the video. There's that suitcase that you can get that has a TV and like an
Xbox.
Xbox
That damn
in it.
beast
of
a
It's
thing,
so
yeah.
fucking heavy and it's so expensive. I like something lightweight that has two controllers that you can just do.
That's
multiplayer
very
in.
cool. Especially like imagine like backseat of a car or an airplane or something like, hey, you can play with me instead of just watch me play. I just keep thinking though about that girl that takes it to the rooftop party.
Yeah,
and
it's like,
just like,
damn it.
Dude,
that's
the
not-
memes that were made
the
about
memes are so great. Where it's like, she
Karen.
brought her weird ass game shit again.
Yeah.
We're drinking, we're having conversations.
Yeah.
Before I get into like my big topic, do you guys, as of right now, feel like you're gonna pre-order or pick this up?
No way.
No.
Not pre-order.
Really?
Not pre-order.
You tend to pre-order.
I love. I try not to pre-order so much anymore. I've been burned before, but I love Nintendo. I will probably end up getting it just knowing myself, but like you have to give us more information about what it's going to be like. We don't even know like what the resolution is or anything.
If it's touchscreen, like
Yeah.
you brought up a really cool point. Like it would be awesome if instead of buying your own screen, like attaching it to a smartphone and like
Well, it
using
just
it like
seems
that.
like, aren't we there? Like, instead of giving us another screen to take up another bulge in our pockets, I've already got it filled with a phone, with a phallic-shaped phone. So I don't want another thing that I have to carry around. I have this very powerful computing device in my pocket. Give me like
That's
controllers
already
for
like
it,
tablet
split it
size,
up.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So maybe it has more processing power or something, but I would still prefer to
We
just
don't
carry
know.
one device around. Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
know.
that's the
any of these
problem. We don't
numbers.
know. But also, on top of not knowing, some patents were filed right before the trailer came out. That's the main thing I want to talk about. That show off other functionality of this device, and one of them, the weirdest out of all of them, and most of these, just so you guys know, for the history of patents that have come out about the NX, which is what it was initially called, like 80% of them were right when it comes to not using discs and use cartridges instead, removable controllers, a giant display screen, like those have been true so far. But the newest one shows off this apparatus that includes, I'm gonna read it really quick, an infrared camera, a distance measuring sensor, and even a miniature projector. So, based on these diagrams right here, there's one diagram that shows a hand next to the screen. Basically, out of the right side of the controller, there is basically a Kinect camera that can measure where your hand is, and it was described that you could use it in a game, say you're in a medieval type game and you need to raise a drawbridge. You could stick your hand out the side and crank it up like that and make it go up. And I'm like,
cool.
but that's when it gets weird. And then they say how to use the projector. It was if you were playing a baseball game and the player hit it out of the park, you could stick your hand out here to catch the ball, and the projector would project a ball onto your hand, and then you could throw it back into the game.
Hold your hand like you're catching a ball.
So I'm holding the game from here, and you have to catch it like this, and then you have to throw it back into the game and
okay,
keep
yeah.
playing.
If you catch balls like this, I think
Yeah,
it
you have to
works
catch it like
nicely.
this. Yeah, you
It's
can't.
like,
You have to have a
it's
flat
stuck on.
surface. Yeah. Get it right there.
It's like if you catch it like that, then it's just like projecting like 10 feet behind you.
I don't know. I think all that's a really cool idea, but like batteries. are a
Right?
thing.
No, yeah, this is going to use up so much power, and also, why is it coming out one side of the device? Because then it already like allows right-handed people to have a dominance, and it's like, why wouldn't it make the screen like expand out in front of you or below
Project
you
this
or
way,
something?
like right in your eyes.
Yeah, right in the eyes. Easier.
Catch everything with your eyes.
Yeah, see, like this is more confusing and it's frankly a little bit dumber of a decision, a move to
You
go
know what
with
it's gonna
this.
depend on though is the game design. Like if a game like nails it, where it's like it's called rightsy handsy.
Yeah.
It's like okay, well maybe that
Yeah.
game is a lot
It's
of
like
fun.
Wii U Sports, but you only use your right hand. It's like you want to go swimming, only do it with the right hand. But my question for you guys and for you guys down below: do you think the Switch is a win that Nintendo needs? Because the Wii U was, from what I heard in the Wall Street Journal, a turd.
Well,
for
isn't
Nintendo.
there going to be another Wii U kind of system coming out soon? Like that's not Wii U, but also the Wii U that's different.
That is not what I have heard. This is like their next
I
step.
couldn't follow your sentence. I'm sorry.
No, is it we
Not
get
a
another
but
Wii
it's
U
another
that's not a Wii U?
That's not Wii U, but it is, and it's different.
Oh, this time was worse.
There's something coming out. I swear, there's something coming out soon, and Pokemon Go. Let's report on that another 7 million times.
You're not wearing
I was
glasses.
thinking about. I always
Just
do
push up
this.
your
I don't know.
Yeah,
skin.
try this out.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm
But what do
becoming
you,
Oh my
Sam.
god.
what do you think? Is this a win for Nintendo?
You look like a delightful professor in a 80s movie.
Let me know when you get sick from those prescriptions.
I'm just a little shy girl.
Yeah. Rodney Dangerfield's Back to School is what I was thinking of.
What do you guys think? Is this a win
your
for
question.
Nintendo? Yeah, the question for this discussion.
sorry.
I would say, I mean, it's too early to tell, obviously, but I would say that, yeah, they definitely need to hit something out of the park.
Do you think this is a win? Because Pokemon Go was a big, and then all of a sudden went, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they
It
could
went out the
combine it
window
with
by
the
the end of
stuff.
the day.
Out the
Isn't Nintendo already the dominant player in the handheld market?
Handheld Yes, but like it still is trying to. Right now, it's been edged out of consoles a little bit, and isn't that a problem?
Right, but this isn't. They're not fixing it with this.
They're not.
Right,
but
in fact,
it is and it isn't.
Because here's the kill. We kind of came up with this earlier, but hey, Nintendo, free advice. You want killer concept. Your mobile platform, people love it. Kids are obsessed with handheld devices from Nintendo. Do the VR on that.
Yeah.
And take VR on the road. You'll throw up a lot.
I wanted to try it so bad.
But like if you could do VR while you're on a plane or something, or VR in the car or whatever, again, you'll get nauseous. But also that mobile VR system is not out there.
That's true.
And that would tie onto your handheld thing. It's where everybody's really excited right now. Just another handheld device. I'm
I
not
almost
as
feel like they're
excited
trying
about.
to do
It would
too
be
much
cool.
with all these new features. Like if they just release a really solid portable multiplayer game device, that's all I would need. And like, you know, the kind of gimmicky controllers, I think that's cool. And
is
you
cool,
can like do it a
and-
bunch of different ways, but that's all. Like just make it a portable system, and that's easy and Nintendo-y.
For VR though, we were saying that those controllers would be perfect as like
Right.
apparatus
Oh,
to use
yeah.
for it. You can
Yeah,
pop
yeah.
it out and be like, and if they're, I don't know if motion is a part of this system because of the Wii and the
know
Wii
if it
U, that was a
is,
big
yeah.
thing, and they haven't advertised that really. They've just been used as regular controllers.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you haven't seen any kind of.
Yeah,
I
they've
don't think
been-
it
I think
is.
they did it in
What
But
did it
if
look
there's
like
an
I was just
infrared
doing?
light, then maybe.
Maybe.
You
So,
want to track it? Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
yeah, I don't know though, but like it seems like a step in a very weird direction that not a lot of people have gotten behind yet.
Yeah.
Like the Wii, Xbox One, PS4, sure, basically same system, but like don't kill me in the comments for saying that. But it's for compared to the Wii, the Nintendo Switch, they're basically the same system if you look at it for functionality. So I'm like, what would be the worst thing in the world if you follow their path? What if you kind of caught up to them and like you actually
Well,
had
and, like-
updated graphic chips and like you could actually like compete with them with game content?
Yeah.
And people have loved Nintendo consoles.
Well, and that's what they're like. That's why people were kind of interested in this one, because during the commercial they were like, "Oh, Skyrim," and like Bethesda. All these like people have signed on, and so that's interesting that they might actually be trying to
Now-
compete for that kind of thing.
Right. Are we being like naive or underestimating them when we're like forgetting the fact that they do play it in their living room on the TV screen? Are they saying like, no, you guys are stuck in the past. You don't even need a console. This thing alone is like a full-on console.
Yeah.
But do people want that? That's the thing. Is people like online gaming. People like the powerful like the mechanisms that are the Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
If
so.
I have a flight and I can play Fallout on it, and not Shelter, not
Cutesy,
Fallout Shelter,
yeah.
then I am in. Like
if I
I'll
can play
buy
it for
it.
30 minutes on that little device, that'll be
Yeah.
perfect. The battery will not last long enough for that. I don't know. And if it has a wireless aspect as well, so you can like play it when you're like walking around it with other people, but I'm like, damn it. That battery's gonna die so fast unless they have some kind of. Then you're gonna have to buy a charging pack that has to go on the back, and it weighs the thing to like 20 pounds. Anyways, we can go into this a lot. How do you guys feel? Is this a win?
Too early to tell.
I saw the news report and I was like, I'm gonna go pre-order a PlayStation VR. That was my response to that.
I say.
Good choice.
I did, yeah.
Stay positive. That's all I can
Optimism.
say. That's a vague enough answer where I'm like, no, it's probably
Yeah.
not going to do well, but I'm going to just
That's
wait
too
and see.
early. Yeah.
Love the split controllers being able to be used by two
Yeah.
people. Love that.
Yeah.
I love those
that's
two
all they
guys.
need.
Remember the two guys in the car playing
All
it?
those buddies.
Those buddies.
Yeah.
They were getting
It's
like,
like, hey, let's
yeah,
talk.
it was cool.
yeah.
No,
Way
that's
better
true.
than the lady that brought it to a party. Her social points are down.
Yeah,
Oh,
Black Mirror reference.
everybody.
Little Black Mirror
Ooh.
reference.
That's it from us. Answer our questions down below. Do you think this Nintendo Switch is a win for Nintendo?
Or is it out the window?
Or is it out the window?
What was my question? Who do you think
director.
should direct Deadpool 2?
What about you?
The Walking Dead cliffhanger, was it worth it if you watch the show? If you don't watch the show, do you think cliffhangers are good for storytelling? Also, obviously, talk to us about Black Mirror if you'd like on our Twitter accounts at Fimo, at TweetNeMore, at Sam Basher.
But be sure to like this video, comment down below, share, and subscribe. Tune in this Thursday for one final Spooky Fed Nerd live stream event. This week we're going to be watching Event Horizon.
Yeah!
Think,
Have you guys seen that?
fuck. No, I haven't.
Maybe as a kid.
It's so good.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
one of my favorite horror movies. It really holds
No more
up.
Human
It's great.
Centipede.
We're also covering on Thursday Apple's event.
Ah.
They're gonna release some new these guys right here. Finally, it's
About
been a
6
while.
months late, huh?
So tune in Thursday too. We're doing live stream on that.
Check our Twitters. Yeah, stay tuned. But guys, thanks so much. Sam, Whitney Esquire, Dr. Phillip. Hey, Dr.
Dr.
Mr.
Mr.
Doctor.
Phillip.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Ooh, out the window.
Out the window.
We're out the window.
Hey, we're in the window.
How do you put the bullets in it?
Come on, Jess. Jesus Christ. You've seen me play Call of Duty like 1,000 times.
I don't really pay attention when you're playing that. It's kind of annoying.
We're good to go. And you're just like, bam, bam, bam. Oh, fuck, it's so loud. Oh!